Going to bring you some business news now on the programme, and Uber is drawing quite a lot of attention as it's officially filed for its IPO. Yuka Raya from the business desk is here with more for us.
Well, Stuart, Uber is reportedly seeking a market evaluation of $100 billion, a whopping figure, but it warns it may not turn a profit. The ride-hailing firm will list its shares on the New York Stock Exchange. The company has not given a specific date for its market debut, but is expected to take place next month. The IPO filing with the US Securities and Exchange Commission offered the first comprehensive financial picture of the firm, which turned 10 years old last month. It revealed that Uber has 91 million average monthly users. The company had $11.3 billion in revenue in 2018, but it expects operating costs to increase significantly in the foreseeable future and may not achieve profitability. Moving over to Asia now, the World Trade Organization has ruled in favor of South Korea's import ban on Japanese fish from areas affected by the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Seoul imposed the ban in 2013 after the operator of the plant, TEPCO, revealed that highly contaminated water had leaked into the sea from the crippled reactors. Tokyo lodged a complaint with the WTO saying the radioactive levels of seafood were safe, and the trade arbitration body initially ruled that South Korean measures were excessive and discriminatory. On Thursday, though, its appeals commission overturned key points of that verdict, a decision welcomed by Seoul.
Through this decision, we will keep the existing import bans on Japanese seafood. Thus, all seafood from the 8 prefectures in Japan will be banned, and inspection certificates of additional nuclide will be required for all Japanese seafood when any traces of radiations are found.
Let's check in on the markets now. And it's been a mixed picture in Asia this Friday, taking cue from a slow day on Wall Street. Japan's Nikkei up almost 0.75%. Hong Kong and Shanghai down 0.47 and 0.64 respectively. Now, shares of Japanese manufacturing giant Toshiba dropped 3% after a planned buyout of its liquefied natural gas operations by a Chinese firm was cancelled. The decision deals another blow to Toshiba, which is struggling to stay afloat following its disastrous acquisition of US nuclear firm Westinghouse. Boeing's chief executive says that a software update on the 737 MAX planes is working, with about 2/3 of the customers having seen the fix in simulator sessions. In his first public speech since last month's Ethiopian airline disaster, CEO Dennis Muilenburg said he recently joined one of dozens of test flights with the new software as the plane maker tries to regain the trust of airlines, passengers and the public to get the grounded jets flying again.
Our team has made 96 flights, totaling a little over 159 hours of airtime with this updated software. They will conduct additional tests and production flights in the coming weeks, and we continue to demonstrate that we've identified and met all certification requirements. We know every person who steps aboard one of our airplanes places their trust in us. We'll do everything possible to earn and re-earn that trust and confidence from our airline customers and the flying public in the weeks and months ahead.
Boeing's CEO speaking there. Now, going back to our top news, protests continue in Sudan following the ouster of President al-Bashir. The economy is very much at the root of the public anger as people have been struggling against soaring prices in one of the world's most impoverished countries. Catherine Clifford reports.
It was the last straw. The tripling of the price of bread back in December sparked the wave of protests that would eventually topple President al-Bashir. The search for necessities such as food, fuel and cash has become a daily battle, with the government hiking up prices as inflation soars. The IMF currently puts the figure just under 50%, while other sources give estimates as high as 70%. The 2011 secession of South Sudan delivered a huge blow to the Sudanese economy. The country lost around 3/4 of its oil reserves, which made up more than half of government revenues and 95% of exports. In 2013, the outbreak of civil war in South Sudan damaged both economies, depriving Sudan of essential pipeline revenues. It also brought an increase to Sudan's already large population of refugees and internally displaced persons. Then in 2015, the global oil price slump came as a further blow to the oil-dependent country. Unemployment has surged since 2011, rising from 12% to over 21% in 2019. Half the population of 42 million are under the age of 19, and youth unemployment currently sits at around 27%. While a 20-year US embargo over Sudan's alleged backing of radical Islamist groups was lifted in 2017, the country remains on a US blacklist of state terror sponsors, putting off investors.
And finally, from the business desk, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy has successfully launched its first commercial mission. The 23-story tall rocket is the most powerful operational rocket in the world. Thursday's launch comes a year after Elon Musk's space company sent a Tesla Roadster and a dummy spaceman into space in a demo flight. SpaceX and Boeing are vying to send humans to space from US soil for the first time in nearly a decade under NASA's Commercial Crew program. The first mission is planned for July. And that's it for business for now.
Thanks so much, Yuka. You should have seen what that looked like. I thought you were going to get swallowed up by billows of smoke and fumes coming from SpaceX's rocket. Yuka Roy with business on France 24.